You sent a perfectly normal text. They replied with okay. Just okay. No emoji, no exclamation mark, no haha, just the word okay. And suddenly, your brain became a crime scene investigator, analyzing every possible meaning behind those 4 letters. Are they mad? Did you say something wrong? Should you have used a different emoji? Should you apologize? For what? You don't even know, but your brain is already writing a full dissertation on what okay could possibly mean, and none of the conclusions are good. Welcome to overthinking. Overthinking is like the mental Olympics, where you compete against yourself and somehow still lose. If you've ever spent 20 minutes crafting the perfect reply to a casual text, stayed awake at 3 a.m. replaying a conversation from 4 years ago, or checked if someone's online just to see if they're ignoring you specifically, congratulations. You're exactly where you need to be. Because today we're talking about why your brain treats every text message like it's a philosophical riddle sent by the universe to test your sanity. Let me paint you a picture. You're lying in bed, phone in hand. You just sent a message, and now you're staring at the screen like it's a bomb that might explode. You see typing appear. Your heart rate increases. They're typing. What are they typing? Is it long? Is it short? The dots disappear. You feel some kind of panic inside you. Did they change their mind? Are they screenshotting your message to their group chat? The dots reappear. You feel relief. Then they disappear again. Now you're sweating. And finally, after what feels like 17 years, they send K. Just the letter K. Not even the full word. And now you're questioning your entire existence, your communication skills, and whether you should just delete all social media and move to a remote island where nobody knows what texting is. This is the modern human experience. We've created technology that lets us communicate instantly with anyone on the planet. And somehow we've used that miracle to create new and creative ways to stress ourselves out. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain is designed to detect threats. Back in the day, threats were simple. A lion, a snake, something trying to eat you. Your brain would go into fight or flight mode and you'd survive. Simple. But now, there are no lions. So your brain has decided that okay, with no punctuation, is the new lion. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between actual danger and perceived social rejection. So when someone takes 3 hours to reply, your brain treats it like you're being chased by a predator. Except the predator is your own thoughts, and you can't outrun those. The ancient Stoics understood this. Not the texting part, obviously, but the overthinking part. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." So what does that actually mean? It means you can't control when people reply. You can't control their tone. You can't control what they mean. But you can control how much you let it consume you. The Stoics believed that most of our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from our judgments about what happens to us. Someone says okay, and you spiral. But okay is just a word. You added everything else. The anxiety, the overthinking, the 3-hour mental breakdown. That was all you. But here's where it gets interesting. Why do we do this? Why do we overthink every tiny interaction like it's going to determine the rest of our lives? Because deep down, we're terrified of rejection. We're terrified of being misunderstood. We're terrified of not being liked. So we analyze, we overanalyze. We create entire fictional scenarios in our heads. We become directors of movies that never happened. And you know what the sad part? The sad part is, none of it is real. You're torturing yourself over things that only exist in your imagination. Let me give you an example. You post something on Instagram. It could be a photo. It could be a story. Doesn't matter. And then you wait. You check how many likes it's getting. You notice who liked it. You notice who didn't. And if that one specific person didn't like it, suddenly you're spiraling. Do they hate me? Did I do something wrong? Should I delete it? And meanwhile, that person probably just didn't see it because they were eating lunch. But your brain has already written a tragic backstory about how you've been socially exiled. This is what overthinking does. It takes tiny pieces of incomplete information and builds entire realities around them. Realities that feel true, that feel urgent, but are completely made up. So here are 3 truths you need to hear, and I'm going to make them funny, because if we're going to confront our psychological demons, we might as well laugh while doing it. Truth number 1. Your mind is a drama queen. It loves creating problems out of thin air. Someone didn't reply in 5 minutes? Your brain is already planning your funeral because clearly everyone hates you now. Someone used a period instead of an exclamation mark? Obviously they're furious. Your mind doesn't deal in facts. It deals in feelings. And feelings are terrible at logic. Your mind is like that friend who sees 2 people talking and immediately assumes they're gossiping about them. Except that friend is you, and they live inside your head, rent-free. Truth number 2. You're addicted to validation. Every notification is a tiny hit of dopamine. Every like, every reply, every comment is your brain getting a little reward. And when you don't get it, you feel withdrawal. You start checking your phone every 30 seconds. Refreshing, waiting, hoping. You've turned other people's attention into your emotional currency. And now you're broke. Because you can't control when people give you attention. So you're constantly anxious, constantly waiting, constantly overthinking, wondering why they haven't replied, why they haven't liked your post, why they haven't validated your existence in the last 10 minutes. Truth number 3. You're afraid of being alone with yourself. Overthinking is a distraction. From what? From the uncomfortable truth that you don't actually know yourself that well. So you fill the silence with noise, with scrolling, with analyzing, with obsessing over what other people think. Because if you stopped, if you actually sat in silence with your own thoughts, you'd have to confront things you've been avoiding. Like who you are, what you want, what you're afraid of. And that's terrifying, so instead you overthink text messages. Because that feels safer than thinking about the big questions. And here's the philosophical punchline for you. You know what? All this overthinking, all this anxiety, it's happening because you're looking outside yourself for peace. You're waiting for other people to validate you, to reassure you, to tell you you're okay. But they can't. Because even if they do, even if they send you the perfect reply with the perfect emoji and the perfect tone, you'll still find something to worry about tomorrow. Because the problem isn't out there. It's in here, in your mind, in the way you relate to yourself. The Stoics knew this. The Buddhists knew this. Every wisdom tradition throughout history has pointed to the same truth. You can't control external events. You can only control your inner state. And the moment you stop needing external validation, the moment you stop letting other people's behavior determine your peace, everything changes. Not because the world changes, but because you stop giving the world that power. So next time someone replies with okay and you feel that familiar panic rising, pause, just for a second, and ask yourself, what am I actually afraid of? Usually it's not the okay. It's what you think the okay means, that they don't care, that you're annoying, that you're not enough. And those fears, they were there before the text. The text just triggered them. So instead of spiraling, try something radical. Accept the okay as just okay, not a coded message, not a rejection, just a word. And then let it go. Move on with your life. Do something that actually matters instead of mentally rehearsing conversations that will never happen. Your life changes the moment you stop overthinking and start living. When you stop analyzing every tiny interaction and start trusting that you're okay regardless of how people respond to you. When you stop looking for validation in notifications and start finding peace within yourself. And if this hit home, subscribe to Mind in Exile for more philosophy that actually relates to your life. And if you're wondering why you spend more when you feel empty inside, check out my video on Osho. Because once you understand your mind, You can't unsee the patterns, the overthinking, the validation seeking, the fear. It's all connected, and it's all fixable, not by changing other people, but by changing how you see yourself. The freedom you're looking for isn't in the perfect reply. It's in not needing one.